Hi, I'm Colin at the Building Crafts College, and we're going to be making a series of videos on various woodworking techniques. This video is about how to use a bench plane. Bench plane is a critical tool in woodworking. It's the plane that will make the wood flat and square for you, which is a basic principle of all woodworking at whatever level. There are some main parts of a plane that you need to know before you start using a bench plane. The blade is held by what we call the chip breaker, which is this piece here. This makes sure that the shavings curl away from the blade as you cut into the wood. And that needs to be set no more than 1 millimeter away from the front leading sharp edge of the blade. The other piece that you need to know about, the part that you need to know about on the plane, is this wheel. This adjusts the depth of cut, which decides on how much wood you're going to take off in any one pass of the plane. Okay? This little lever here is called the lateral adjustment lever, and that tilts the blade left or right, and what you need to do is to make sure that it's parallel to the sole of the plane. So the blade goes in bevel down, like that. This is called the lever cap, and that's basically what holds the whole blade setup in place. To set the plane up before you start planing, you need to get the depth of cut right and the blade parallel. And we sight along it like this against a pale surface, sometimes a sheet of white paper or a nice clean pale bench like this one. Wind it out so that you can see that it's parallel. Once it's parallel, and you'll find that you can adjust it with this lever here at the back. Okay. So once the plane is parallel to the sole, wind it back with the adjustment wheel till it's completely flush and you can't see it at all. To help with the friction, use a bit of candle wax on the sole of your plane. Clamp your piece of wood in the bench, and then the rest is by feel. So you need to gently pass the plane over and just adjust the wheel at the back until you start to get it to cut. And you want to take as fine a shaving as possible to start with. Just watch where you're cutting and you'll see which side the blade is cutting, and that will be an indication of whether it is really truly parallel to the sole. What we're looking for in this instance is to get the piece of wood flat. These are winding sticks, and you can see there that they're a dark and a light strip. If you use the light against the dark, that will give you, if I hold them up like that, you can see that that immediately gives me a reference, a very easy reference to look at, the light against the dark, and that will tell me whether something's in twist or whether it's flat. So when I place that alongside a piece of wood like that, if I've got it balanced perfectly, I sight along it like this, and I can tell whether it's in wind or twist. Keep watching your plane, see if it's cutting one side or the other. You need to try and get a balance so that it's taking across the whole width of the wood. And it needs to be a nice fine cut, and there we are. We can see that that's taking off a pretty even shaving. Keep the pressure of your body, the weight of your body, centred to the forefront of the plane. Pressure on there, and move from the back to the front. Take it off nice and evenly, and keep checking with your winding sticks. Light against the dark, and that, to me, that's pretty parallel. Now we know that we've got that nice and flat. It's not in wind, there's no twist, in other words. So we need to mark that, and that mark will tell us that's always the face we need to work from. So a nice simple mark like that will do. And we need to sight along and see here that I'm facing it on my face. That's what that face means. That's my reference. So I need to check that that's now 90 degrees to it. And we sight along there, like that. And actually, I'm in luck. This actually is quite a straight piece of wood. But assuming it wasn't, we would now do the same process to get that 90 degrees. The other thing that you will need to just check is to make sure that it's flat. And for that, we sight along that edge of the wood. And there are no hills there, so just check your face surface as well. Hopefully that's all right. Yes, that is as well, because we were planing all the way across in one go, and this is the importance of having sharp tools that will make life so much easier for you. We now know that's flat and straight, so now we've got our flat and straight edge. We can mark that edge as well. And there we are, we have our first piece of wood using a bench plane, and that is flat and square. And we can now use that as a reference surface to carry on woodworking from there.